I told you as a new player that there's a secret way to increase the damage that your rally is dealing in Whiteout Survival? And as it turns out, this is a really big deal. It's something that experienced players know all about, but new players, you're taking in so much. I know for me personally, the way this worked took a long time to unpack, and I do need to give a shout out to my homie Skillet, who clued me in to exactly how this works, and let me explain. If you're an experienced player of this game, you would know that when someone in your alliance is rallying something, the heroes you join a rally with matters. But not only does it matter, but it's primarily the first hero you join a rally with that has the potential to influence the outcome of the rally. And let me explain. If I go back and I look at the details of this rally, I can go and tap this yellow flag and scroll all the way down to see all of the buffs. And what is revealed is two things. First of all, there's a section of stats and skills that come from the rally captain. But then there's also skills that come from the rally members. Hold up. Wait a minute. The people you join the rally with matter a lot. So what does the game do? When you join a rally, the game is going to look at the first hero you send. And not only is it going to look at the first hero you send, but it's actually going to look at the first skill of the first hero you send. And it's going to compare that against everybody else in the rally. So if I scroll back on down, here are the highest level first skills of the joiners of this rally, okay? And some of them are super relevant to the outcome of this rally. Others probably have no influence whatsoever. Let's get a look. This over here is from Jesse, one of the best rally join heroes in the game, giving, in this instance, 15% of bonus damage. Hello? That's a big deal. Not only could you have Jesse once, but if all 4 people brought Jesse and they had a max skill version of this, that'd be 25% all damage a pop, which is insane. As it turns out, the second joiner, in this instance, with the highest level skill, is this one over here at Zinman, defense and health. For whatever reason, and I don't know the details of this, it seems like for offense, damage is what matters, and for defensive situations where you're garrisoning, you'd rather have your joiners have things like reducing damage taken, okay, or increasing your health. Anyways, this next skill, what does it do? Bahiti senses danger ahead, reducing damage taken, right? So I think Bahiti would be good for a defensive situation, not as much in a rally, especially not a rally on the bear trap, by the way, where look, you just need damage dealt, not damage mitigated. And this last skill over here does, I think, nothing in the bear trap, doing a stun, but could theoretically be relevant on offense. So I'm showing you this because obviously if this was 4 Jessies, we're talking about, depending on how these stack, if they're additive or multiplicative, it'd be 25%, 25%, 25%, 25%, potentially 100% extra damage. Is that a big deal? Yes. God tier levels of damage, okay? Now, good news. The heroes that are great for joining in this way are mostly epic, which means even if you're free to play or a very, very low spender, it really doesn't even matter who you are, unless you're like the biggest Kraken in your sort of alliance, you should work on your Jesse and a few other heroes we're going to talk about. Now, the skill that matters the most is specifically in the expedition slot on the right. Remember, exploration is for things like arena and the literal game mode called exploration. Expedition is anytime you go out on the map, like participating in a rally or a garrison or, those things that determine the safety of your alliance. So this skill over here in the upper right is the skill that will always apply. And what the game does, as I understand it, is it looks at all the rally joiners, it takes the highest level skill that's in the upper right slot, and it says these are the ones that apply. That means if somebody joins the rally with, let's say, Gina, one of the worst rally joiners in the game, if not the worst, there's sort of a tie for terrible, this skill reduces your stamina cost when you're the rally lead. Because there's no stamina cost when you join a rally, particularly even against PvE content, there's no stamina cost to join somebody else's rallies. So not only would this really do nothing as a rally joiner at all, okay, but you're taking up a slot of someone who could have contributed a relevant skill. In other words, if I had joined that prior rally with this Gina in the very first slot, then because my skill was level 5 and everybody else's skills were level 3, it would have replaced the skills with my level 5 skill, which would have done literally nothing for the rally. In fact, I'm actively harming the success of the rally by virtue of putting Gina in there, because something that actually applied could have gone in. And you may think, well, this isn't really happening. It's happening all the time for you, okay? Because blue heroes in particular have these skills that you're going to level up for gathering. That's completely irrelevant. So if a rally lead sees that you bring these things, they should kick your troops out, because they don't want skills that do nothing influencing the outcome of the rally. This is especially true for PvP, but also for PvE against the bear trap in particular. Now, for this particular set of things we were rallying, what is it, these level 3s, right? Like the polar terrors, nobody cares, okay? You're going to win. It's going to be easy. It almost doesn't matter who joins with what, okay? It's for the tougher stuff where you're eking out as much damage as possible, where this ends up being just an incredibly, incredibly big deal, okay? Literally, as a rally lead, I sit there kicking people out who I see bring the wrong thing. Now, there are other ways that you contribute to the success of your rally beyond just contributing that skill. And I do want to talk about some of the best heroes, but I just want to mention for a minute that the tier of troop that you join a rally with is also extremely relevant. Remember, the rally lead is giving their percentage-based boosts to everybody. The percentage-based boost is off of these base stats, right? So obviously, a higher tier of troop being contributed to the rally is better. Leveling up your heroes sort of matters for joining a rally, but sort of not. The only extent to which it matters is the fact that, well, if your hero's higher level, you can bring more troops because hero levels contribute troop capacity. You can see right over there. The troop capacity is listed prominently, okay? So the biggest way you're contributing, besides the fact that, like, you bring your highest tier of troop, is honestly potentially contributing a skill. And if you don't have any heroes to bring that can contribute anything valuable, then actually just don't bring heroes. I'm serious. Like, you can join a rally without any heroes. It is what it is. Yes, you have lower troop capacity when you do that, but the worst thing you can do is join a rally with a hero that's got a skill that's going to ruin your rally. Now, on the topic of heroes that will contribute in positive ways to your rally, my understanding is that some of the best heroes include Jessie for her all damage boost and also Jasser for his all damage boost. You can see I have not invested in these heroes yet, which is a huge mistake. I obviously need to go and do that, but as you can see, I'm in the early game and supplies are limited. What I've been doing is I've been going and working on things like research speed and building speed, etc. And by the way, if you're getting value from this video, consider throwing a like on here and subscribing to the channel. This is my dedicated Whiteout Survival channel where I'm going to share all these insights, things that I've learned that, like, yes, the game shows you these things, but are they exactly, intuitive to someone who's learning the entire game all at once? Like, yeah, it's a little bit tricky to, like, take in everything and really get it. And that's what my guides are for, to help you really get it. Okay? So, rally joining. We talked about Jasser. We talked about Jessie. There are others that are really great as well. I mean, this is like a pay-to-win joiner right over here, but Geronimo, 25% damage dealt, right? Like, this is the sort of thing you're looking for rallying. If we're talking about defending stuff, okay, in that instance, Patrick reducing the damage you take is really awesome. Or, sorry, this is Sergey. Bahidi going and also... Let's see here. Senses danger ahead, reduces damage taken. Seems really good. Who else was I looking for? I said Patrick. Here he is. Patrick. Yes. I do mean you. 25% health up is kind of a big deal. So there's a bunch of heroes that are sort of established as, like, really good for filling. And these are the ones you want to be running when you join somebody else's stuff. Now, garrisoning is a kind of different situation because the person who has the most total stats will get automatically promoted to be the captain, which is kind of neat. So we're not going to talk about defending stuff really in this video. This was more about rally joining. In fact, as I did a search on sort of Google for infographics or any imagery I could find showcasing the best rally joiners, I actually stumbled on something kind of cool that I want to show you. So this is a tier list of the very best rally joining heroes, and I don't know who to credit this for, so if you know, definitely drop a comment. I'm happy to sort of credit whoever created this. And if I zoom on in, okay, all the way up top, it's going to show you different heroes across different generations that are really, really powerful and sort of what their effects are. I mean, obviously, Rena with 30% normal attack damage. That sounds like it's really impressive. We talked about Geronimo, and there's Gwen, Jesse, Jasser, and Siyun does a 25% attack boost. Oh, that's kind of cool. We didn't talk about that one. She also does healing speed on her lower skill, which is pretty neat. Then you've got Philly, Nora, Greg, Lynn, Mia. And you can see we're sort of going down and down on this list at this point. I think the best heroes for joining a rally seem to be the ones that can crank the damage all the way up top. All right. And all the way down here, the ones that you would like automatically kick is kind of funny. So like Gina, Zinman, Chloris, like literally any of the ones that are gatherers, Smith, Eugene, like you remove them because they're not really doing anything. Now, Zinman has changed subsequently, by the way. Since this infographic was made, he changed. So his first skill now actually is relevant. I believe it's a meaningful amount of health and defense. Anyways, I think that infographic helps convey that we were on the right track for like, yeah, these are some of the heroes that are really good to join with. Let's get a look here. Siyun, this one was mentioned. There's the attack boost. And then what about Ling Zhu? She gives a training speed boost. She has a debuff for reducing enemy attack. I don't know how good that debuff ultimately is, but this video was hopefully really helpful in breaking down for you why it is that your rally leads who know the game might actually rightfully be kicking you out of their rally. And again, it doesn't matter for your average everyday rally against a polar terror. Nobody cares, right? It's easy. You're going to win. You're going to tell people to bring less troops than their max amount so you don't fill the rally if you're in the early game anyways. You don't want to run out of rally capacity. But in the end game, I'm quite confident that the expectation is that everybody knows how this works and they've worked on their heroes that are good for joining rallies. And if you're worried about messing it up, just don't join with the hero with a high level skill. That means you could either have some heroes where you sandbag the skill and keep it low, so it's unlikely they're in the top 4 for sort of skill level, or you just send the right ones, right? Just send the right ones. And you're good to go, all right? Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you've got any other tips or tricks for a rally joiner to influence the outcome of a rally, definitely let me know what they are. I'm actually genuinely very eager for what those would be. For the most part, again, it's tier of troop plus. Remember, when you join a rally, it is the hero that is in the first slot that the game is going to look at to say, hey, if you join this rally with this hero, okay, what's in their first skill slot? Doesn't matter who's in your second slot. Doesn't matter who's in your third slot. This first skill slot, and it's this first hero slot and their first skill that it's going to look at and go, okay, is this one of the top 4 by level? And then if it is, it's going to apply. And if that's a bad thing, rally lead's got to kick you out. GG. Enjoyed the vid? Throw a like on here, subscribe. If you've got any other tips or tricks, I'm definitely interested. Leave them down below in the comments. And until next time, you have fun smashing your enemies. Take care, everybody.